This is the first generation 11-inch iPad Pro that came out in 2018, making this device 5 years old this year. My previous iPad was the iPad Air 2. I used that iPad for about 5 years until it gave up on me due to some storage problems where I lost all my files, my assignments, and study materials. I do not want to go through that again, so I got this iPad with 1 terabyte of storage. It is literally my expensive note-taking device, but in my opinion, this is the best iPad for me. It does what I need to do without the unnecessary features that just adds on to the price. The wallpaper for my iPad is the green wheat field painting by Van Gogh. I love this painting so much and it is just so calming to look at. The big widget I have in the top right cycles through motivational quotes. It's just nice to read them throughout the day. When I come across a quote I like, I add them to this album so I can see it often. Then I have the Spotify widget because music, and it's just a quick way to access recent songs and albums I've listened to. Below that I have a calendar widget. This is done using Widgetsmith, and I also have the weather app widget. The battery widget because I can have a better idea of when to charge my AirPods, and the reminders widget with a to-do list. Throughout the day I can add to this list and I can see this list on my phone, my iPad, and my MacBook. I have the word apathy on there because I was reading a book and I didn't know what the word meant, and at the time I didn't have the internet connection to search it up. English is difficult sometimes. The good thing about the Apple ecosystem is that any notes I write down in the Notes app will appear on all my devices, so it doesn't matter which one I'm using, I can still access my notes. I mentioned at the start of the video that this iPad is basically my expensive note-taking device, and one app I definitely cannot live without is GoodNotes. I take notes on this, all my study materials are in GoodNotes. I didn't have Notion because everyone has Notion. PixArt and Procreate, I use them to edit photos, and all my YouTube thumbnails are created using these two apps. VN is a free video editing software that I use to edit Instagram stories and also YouTube videos. I don't have that many games on my iPad. I don't play games as much as I used to. These are the ones I have left. Superstar JYP and Citus are music games. I love music games. They are the best de-stressor or just to kill some time. Next are the apps I use mainly for school. Then Clock, Google Maps, Google Calendar, and Gmail. Down at the bottom I have Photos. Line is a messaging app mostly used here in Asia. Instagram, feel free to follow me on Instagram. Pinterest is the place I go to for inspiration. YouTube, Safari, Files, Settings, and Camera. In my opinion, iPad OS is just a weirder version of iOS. It doesn't need a chip like M1 or M2 because most things you do on an iPad does not utilize these powerful chips. This iPad still uses the A12X Bionic chip, and I don't feel that it is slow at all. I can edit photos and videos smoothly, games run smoothly, and browsing the web or watching videos is a breeze. This iPad has a single 12 megapixel camera on the back and a 7 megapixel front-facing camera, and I don't need a better set of cameras than this on an iPad. To me, taking photos with your iPad still looks strange no matter what. I do it sometimes if I'm in class and need a quick picture of the board to see what the professor is writing. And for that, the 12 megapixel camera is more than sufficient, and the 7 megapixel camera isn't bad for the occasional Zoom calls. I love the 120Hz display. In my opinion, an iPad for note-taking or illustration should be 120Hz. When I use an Apple Pencil on an iPad that's not 120Hz, it just feels like so slow. If you want to buy an iPad with 120 Hz or ProMotion as Apple calls it, your only option is to go with the iPad Pros, which comes with the triple cameras on the back and an M2 chip, which is unnecessary for me and it feels like overkill. So as long as this iPad still works and running fine, I don't see a reason to upgrade anytime soon. Thank you so much for watching. Please consider subscribing if you liked the video because that will make my day. I hope you are having a wonderful day or night. Bye!